Hello and fuck cape shit. Welcome to another Shittywebcomics Weekly episode brought to you by our Subscribe Star backers. Donate to support us and also get access to the real content, the secret lore of the internet that many thousands and thousands of the most popular, some of the most popular supposed culture war YouTubers in reality subversive infiltrators to the culture war.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't want you to know what we're saying on our Subscribe Star.
Some of the fucking big names that follow us and just love to watch our videos, such as Ethan Van Sciver and fucking Nick Rekieta. They watch all of our shit and they love.
That's not even a joke either. They constantly, like, I've had Nick Rekieta do multiple streams about me when I fucking have just after just an offhanded joke making fun of him being a cuckold.
SWC.
Did you know that we were the first people to point out and basically prove and make fun of Nick Rekieta for being a cuckold years ago? And it wasn't just guessing, by the way. We actually knew. And if you want to know how, you should have been following us the whole time. But donating to our Subscribe Star will get you access to all that stuff.
Whoever gave money to Nick Rekieta, you are also now a cuckold.
Yeah.
You are now letting his wife fuck around on you with a black guy. You are sitting in the corner while a black guy fucks his wife.
You have directly, unironically, you have directly financed that and supported. You have supported that behavior whether you thought you were or not. You paid a man to be cuckolded. You paid a man that you like to be cuckolded as you created the delusion in your mind that he's a traditionalist, wholesome Chad Christian with a loving family, as his wife is threatening suicide and all that shit. If you want to know more about that, go to our Subscribe Star.
To believe that him and Jack Murphy, and that was the other thing that I really enjoyed hearing about recently, was people were comparing him to Jack Murphy, and he's like, how is there even a comparison? How can you make that comparison?
It was his own fans, even. His own fans were telling him that he was like Jack Murphy. And anyone who was like, how is he like Jack Murphy? is like, here are the ways that he's like... In fact, he's more like Jack Murphy than Jack Murphy is.
He's like Jack Murphy, except Jack Murphy is probably more legitimate in his career.
He's
Jack Murphy is not a failure as a lawyer.
Nick Rekieta is a gayer version of Jack Murphy, and that can be proven quantifiably. You can measure the amount that Nick Rekieta is gay, more gay than Jack Murphy. And Jack Murphy is a complete, total, immense, simpering faggot. But getting to this page, first of all of that shit is fun and interesting to talk about and entertaining and correct. And,
I take much satisfaction because these are the same people who were attacking us the entire time forever.
Legitimately, we don't.
I simply
everyone else calls attacking. They say attacking when what they really mean is criticizing or mocking. We mean that when we say attacking, we mean people were actually trying to deplatform us, and some of those people were indeed fans and friends directly.
Flagging our channel to shut down our channel.
Nick Rekieta himself was directly responsible for having our channel false flag. He was directly involved with false flagging our channel and trying to get us deplatformed. Again, if you want to know more about that, our videos, all of our videos about that were public. All the evidence about that is public and always has been. If you want to actually know, though, the only way now is because of the false flagging. The only way to really be informed about it is now to support us. We didn't want it to be this way, but everyone else forced it to be this way. That's just how it is. Anyways, getting to this just one page that was... kind of a lot of context involved for this is we mentioned in a previous episode that first of all, she cut her hair short now, so she sort of changed her style due to...
There's a new fetish available.
Yes, now. That's right. Short hair tomboy, short hair brown fit tomboy. Just all these combinations. But yeah, she had to cut her hair short due to some bizarre adventure involving an anteater and an actual anaconda, where they were fighting. All of them were fighting, in fact. Her and the anteater and the anaconda. Quite a bizarre adventure. And instead of spoiling that or showing it, because I don't have the pages open, we just had we had a handful of select
we
pages.
We won't be able to even show the fucking, what was it, anaconda versus anteater?
Yeah,
we won't even be able to show that because it's pretty fucking, it's going full bore.
Yeah, it's incredibly graphic, and there's a bunch of nudity. Hot nudity, though, of course. Which is the point.
She basically gets raped by an anteater.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. She actually does get raped by an anteater. But at the same time, of course, she loves it. So it is, and because an anteater is not a person, it is yet another form of legal rape. But here is, she was on a date with a guy because, again, she wanted to lose her virginity. Her rival turned friend was making fun of her about it, and so she met a guy and she liked him, and she was like, "Oh, this guy is cool," and you could just see that something was gonna go wrong with that. But I thought it was like he's gonna turn out to be a woman or something, because she was specifically pointing out that she doesn't want her first time to be getting legally raped on video in some AV video or whatever the fuck. She doesn't want it to be with a girl. She wants her first time to actually be with a guy, ideally a guy she likes. So she met some guy at some industry party and that kind of stuff, and it didn't turn out the way that she expected. So she's running away all upset because of this guy, because of what the guy did, which the guy didn't try to rape her or anything. In fact, it's hinted at in this page, but she says, "Father, Tokyo, the entertainment industry is a lawless wasteland." And she says, "I was so wet."
Very based. Here's another fetish you can throw onto the pile that this comic is doing. It's super based trad wife, yes. Wheat field GF with brown skin. Holy shit! It's just, how many things are they
martial arts chick. But also at the same time that she was DTF. Also huge tits, of course. There's that.
Not trying to do because that is actually one of the things I'm starting to notice that a lot of people are behind the times on. It's just that lesbianism is tiresome. Yes. Lesbianism isn't hot anymore.
Yeah, in fact, especially because of what lesbians are like in real life. It's still generally in the zeitgeist is preferable to gay dudes, but yeah,
even then it's just like, you can't fucking she's not actually having sex if she's with a woman.
Yeah, it's not, they're simply imitating what a man has and a man would and could do. All they can do is create a facsimile of a man. The only way,
or why would you want to watch that?
The only way that two women can have sex is in some way to create the facsimile of a man, some kind of artificial recreation of a man.
Pretending to be male.
Yes. But it says, after running all the way home, she trained for 2 hours in the park, but she still couldn't sleep. In the end, she handled it herself, and she says, "It feels empty, but my right hand doesn't freebase coke." Which is, it's funny because it's like, without the context, it's like, what the fuck does that even mean?
But yeah, that's what happened.
That is, yeah, not to be too fucking hinting, is like, you gotta check it out yourself. That is basically what happened. Well, not basically, that is literally what happened.
Essentially, literally what happened. That's how it went wrong. In fact, that was the thing, is like, she was absolutely DTF. She was on board with it until right then. It's like, yeah, I like to fucking take some drugs to take the edge. He's almost like the fucking drug, or the gun seller from fucking Taxi Driver. And it's like, you want lewds, coke, speed? I can get you a fucking new Chrysler DeVille with a pink slip.
Yeah, all that shit. Just, he's like, "Oh, you bought all of my guns? Holy shit, hold on, let me fucking, I got a lot more if you want." But yeah, it's funny because especially like out of context, her saying my right hand doesn't freebase coke is like, that's a weird thing to mention out of nowhere. But as it turns out, it wasn't out of nowhere.
Yeah, there's a reason.
That's also something that you don't see in any kind of manga, is not only the reference to freebasing, but the fact that the guy just straight up is doing it. It's like, I've never seen anyone just pull out a fucking crack pipe or whatever in manga. That's kind of a new, especially for a manga that's about big titty brown waifu martial arts chick.
Just count the ways in which this isn't like an American comic. The only way this is like an American comic is that it would have the drug use.
This is also very reminiscent of Perfect Blue, because it's kind of about the same thing. It's about the as she's saying, the entertainment industry is a lawless wasteland, and that's Perfect Blue isn't exactly entirely about that. It's about an aspect. It's sort of about the artificiality, the creepy artificiality of recreating horrible things in movies, and sort of the way it traumatizes some people who maybe are a little one thing I love, though, is that the villain of that movie ultimately is like, well, the villain was taken care of. Surely nothing bad is happening anymore. But you really think back on it, it's like, well, wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on a second.
Wait a minute.
I mean, this chick, the fucking actress, is seeing the idol version of herself flying across rooftops and shit. Clearly, the problem wasn't just her agent or stuff like that. Spoilers if you haven't seen Perfect Blue, sort of, I guess.
It's a million years ago, so you don't have an excuse anymore.
But in a way, that also is about like the sort of bizarre side of the entertainment industry, especially in Japan. But clearly, it's not any better or different in America necessarily.
It might be worse in America. That's why I fucking love that fucking page, because fucking this at least. In America, you'd probably be molested as a child.
Yeah, it's so much worse in America for many reasons that I think even the Japanese storytellers don't even want to get into too much, lest they be deemed some kind of, I don't know, Nazi themselves.
And anti-Semitic. It'll be very anti-Semitic of them.
Anti-toddlite. They hate toddlers, or tykes as they call them. I'm anti-toddlite. Anyways, so this ends another unfortunate chapter. It's like, she's having tough situations in life, and
she's going to be making suffer horribly again.
Yeah. But also at the same time, you kind of just want to sympathize with her and be like, I hope that good things happen to her.
Believe me, this is an achievement.
Yeah.
This is an accomplishment.
You know what? And to wrap up the episode, actually, instead of just ending on that page, because the next episode will probably be the last one about Booty Royale. But the afterword for the volume, the author here says, I've been a mangaka, or manga creator, for just over a decade. I've never felt the need to stick to a genre, so I've drawn lots of things. A story about martial arts, a story about monsters and heroes, gods and same-sex love, a story about demons and humans, a story about politicians and elections, a story about history and witches, a story about Jian Zhen coming to Japan, a story about a doctor, a story about a voice actor. This time it's a manga about idols. I don't mean the sort of idols where there's dozens of them and they sell crazy numbers of CDs and you cast votes, or the sort who are all color-coded like Sentai heroes. Those sorts of idols seem like a sports team, and I don't really get it. Which, that alone is kind of interesting. It shows that even in Japan, Japanese people are like, I'm not really into Super Sentai, or I'm not into idol culture and stuff. And that's usually
as broad as you might imagine American culture would be.
Yeah, that's it's interesting because that's usually where a good source for satire and parody is somebody who is familiar with it because it's part of their culture, but they're not really into it. So they look for things to make fun of it or satirize, but while also telling a story. I mean, That's as we've been saying for years. One of the things they really have nailed down in manga and even anime, but especially in manga, is formula. They have the storytelling formulas, the character formulas, hammered down so hard that they then know that the point and the trick is to then find the twist to the formula while also having the formula, the parts of the formula that work. And it's like, okay, so what's our version of this formula? This one is about this. This one's about that. And they have their hero's journey. They have their downsides. They have their flaws. They have their weaknesses. They have their trials. They have the upside. They have the part where they lose, but they have the part where they maybe are looking hopeful next time, or they have the part where they win, and that their next challenge is being established. That kind of thing. So it's something that they have a good control of because it's very effective. It's that the kind of, not specifically the hero's journey, but there is a huge element of that, of course. And in a way, they've for the past 20, 30, maybe even 40 years, but especially the past 10 to 20 years in manga, they've been really refining that while also looking for their twist or take on it. But anyways, the afterword continues. This is a story about the Gravery idol of days gone by, fighting all alone with only her hands, well, and her big boobs and sexy clothes. That sort of idol was seen as FAP material. Again, I'm pretty sure that's the localizer changing the word there. Which is
localizer said in the same word as spit.
Yes.
Said in the same tone of voice as spit.
Yeah, but that's and it's a little annoying, but it's not enough to really derail the whole.
No, by all means, this is above and beyond the typical localizer. I'm localizing.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But it says she wouldn't expect to be popular with women. Most of her fans just want her to go into porn and show it all. If you think about it, the purpose of an idol is to visit the dark, nasty bedrooms of all of us lonely and hopeless men. Which, that right there seems to be heavily implying that this is a guy who made this comic, so I guess it is.
Yeah.
Based on that sentence, that's all I can go by, is assuming. And when we assume, we're right. Anyways, being with us through photos or DVDs, they are a company on the journey through our filthy fantasies. Carefree types who will spout things like, I'm cheering her on, or she gives me strength. Well, that's fine for what it is. You can believe in a gravure model or not. It doesn't matter. What matters is if she comes with you in the dark. What I was talking about, what was I talking about again? Who cares when there's dark skin and boobs? That's why I've drawn these moments in the long life of fictional AV and TV star Heiburo Misora. I hope you enjoy it and that you're cheering her on while hoping she just goes into porn. Frankly, I hope she does too, the author.
Even the fucking guy drawing this. Again, also, that's another thing. A fucking American comic creator writes something like that, they're fucking canceled. They're fired.
They're Anthony Cancellano'd.
Anthony Cancellano. They're going to be canceled while also at the same time being told that there's no such thing as being canceled.
And Jimmy They Theminato is also that's me sending an email to your boss. Classic Cumtown bit that was stolen for a Saturday Night Live skit with Bill Burr. Bill Burr actually was
themselves said about fucking Bill Burr when he was hosting Saturday Night Live. It was two things: one, very funny, and two, stuff people had been saying on the internet 10 years ago.
Yes,
like that is exactly what it's like to be SWC,
including us, especially us, if anything. And so, speaking of which, if you want to find out what the rest of the world and including the internet will be saying in the next 5 to 10 years. Check out our Subscribe Star, as usual. We're prescient. We've been proven to be prescient about pretty much every word out of our mouths at this point.
It's not magic. It's not a magic trick.
This is not ego or vanity.
This is not a trick. This is not some kind of fucking special ability.
There are legitimately other creators, other people in comics, very successful people in comics, who have absolutely agreed that yes, we are completely prescient and prophetic, or at least it seems that we are. Really, we're just noticing the patterns that anyone else should be able to notice, but for some reason don't. The people who do notice the patterns, though, listen to us and are subscribed to our Subscribe Star. So if you're not, you are missing out on what everyone else will be saying in the coming decade. So, if you want to find out, become a pig on our Subscribe Star. But for everyone else, should have listened to Shitty Webcomics.